I'm not leaving until my daughter turns 18.
These former felons are on the front line of violence in one of America's most dangerous cities. Relying on tip-offs and intel from the streets, the so-called violence interrupters work to prevent crime without calling police.
I just made sure that this guy was protected, the guys down there was protected, and the girl was protected.
Dante Barksdale leads the team. He's the nephew of Nathan Bodie Barksdale, the drug kingpin who inspired hit series The Wire.
We identify and detect. What we do is we try to interrupt it and intervene, right? And then that next step is to change behaviors and norms.
It's the kind of shift to policing activists called for after Freddie Gray died here in police custody 5 years ago. Redirect police funding into social programs rather than solely focus on reforming police. Police weren't defunded in Baltimore, but George Floyd's death in May reignited those calls across the nation. Baltimore offers some clues. It implemented aggressive changes to policing after the death of Freddie Gray in 2015, but so far it's failed to reduce the homicide rate. Since then, more than 300 people have died in the city each year.
We went through all of the Obama-era reforms of body cameras, a consent decree, all of the kinds of things that are supposed to fix this. And what we found is that not only did those not work, but the police department here took those up, exploited them to aid their own corruption and to act as a sort of counterinsurgency.
Funding for law enforcement continued to increase, far outstripping spending on social programs.
This neighborhood represents a perfect storm of negative indicators that make this a very challenging place for Baltimore residents.
Tara Huffman is a local pastor. She also works in juvenile justice.
We still, unfortunately, have a city and even a state that is still putting too much investment into police, courts, corrections, to the detriment of systems that are designed to support families, to help build neighborhoods, and to help build strong communities. That's the part that didn't shift.
President Trump says he's backing those in blue. Joe Biden wants better training for law enforcement and money for community policing.
We done seen lives transform. The guys that we're actually hiring, we changing their lives. We just don't have the funding that we need, and we don't have the manpower.
In the neighbourhoods they patrol, violent crime has dropped dramatically. But the partisan battles over the right way forward will help define this election and communities for decades to come. Kathryn Diss, ABC News, Baltimore.